This is Loved Without Losing Yourself, a space for women who are capable, intelligent, and accomplished, yet quietly exhausted from holding everything together. Here, we talk about what it really takes to come back to yourself without burning your life down. So, let's begin. You are taught from a very young age to nurture, to think of others first, to give before you take, to care for those around you as the measure of your worth. Nothing's wrong with that. It's beautiful. It's how you learn to love. But then you become a mother or a partner or both, and that nurturing instinct intensifies. Now, you're not just caring for one person. You are managing an entire family's needs, their schedules, their emotions, their comfort, their growth. You prioritize them. You think of them first. You give to them first. And you don't even notice that you are not prioritizing yourself, because this is what you've always done. This is the pattern you know. The mistake isn't that you love too much. The mistake is that somewhere throughout the years, you forgot that you also need rest. You also deserve to have fun. You also need to enjoy your life without constantly worrying, without carrying guilt, without the weight of being responsible for everyone else's peace of mind. You become someone who functions, a woman who provides, who serves, but you stop being someone who lives. And here's what starts to happen in the relationship. You love each other. You do. But time together becomes less frequent. Every year, a little less. He starts doing things on his own. You start withdrawing. Sex isn't as passionate as it used to be. The intimacy becomes routine, if it happens at all. He changes too. He's less patient, less affectionate. He pulls away when you reach for him. And then come the comments. You changed. You are not the one I married. I want more. You don't want me more. And you hear these comments and you become angry, defensive even, because part of you knows he's right. You have changed, but another part of you wants to say, and you changed too. You stop showing up. You stop trying. But you don't say that. You just get quiet. Or you snap back and then you feel guilty for snapping. So you try harder. You try to be more present. You try to want him more. You try to be the woman he wants. But you are running on empty and you can't seem to find your way back. The relationship that was once in the center of your universe takes second place. Like you do. You're managing it. You're maintaining it. But you are not in it anymore. Not really. You're afraid. You're not present to yourself. And he's not either. And the years go by like this, functioning, providing, disappearing, walking on eggshells. Until one day he says, I'm leaving. And he doesn't say it gently. He doesn't say it after a conversation about what went wrong. He just says it. I'm done. I'm leaving. You're not the person I want to keep living a life with. And in that moment, everything you believed shatters. You did everything. You became everything. You sacrificed everything. And it still wasn't enough. The first thing that hits you is numbness. Your brain stops working. Your body goes still. You hear the words, but they don't land. You move through your life like you are underwater. You talk to people. You manage the children. You show up. But you're not there. And then the numbness cracks. And what comes through it is uncertainty, fear, a creeping dread that settles into your chest. Is this really happening to me? How do I survive this? What do I do now? And underneath all of that, the question that terrifies you the most, who am I if I'm not his wife? Not because you're depending on him, but because you love him so much, you gave so much. Who am I if I'm not the one who makes it work? Who am I without him? Because the identity you build, the version of yourself you become in service of everyone else, that's all you know how to be. And now you have to figure out what comes next. Now, here's what I need you to understand. When your world collapses like this, there are 3 places your mind will go, 3 ways to make sense of what happened, 3 ways to protect yourself from ever being this vulnerable again. And I am naming all 3 because understanding them is the only way out of them. Trap 1. You blame yourself. This one feels like responsibility. It feels like maturity. It feels like taking ownership. I should have been different. I should have seen this coming. I should have tried harder. If only I had been the right version of myself, he would have wanted to stay. If only I had been less demanding, more present, more focused on him. And here's what makes this trap so seductive. It gives you the illusion of control. If the problem was you, if you were doing something wrong, then theoretically you can fix it. You can change it. You can be better. And then maybe somehow he will come back. Or the next person won't leave. So you start the familiar work, self-improvement. You examine yourself. You list all the ways you failed. You try to become the version of yourself that will have been enough. But here's what actually happens. You abandon yourself all over again. You just do it alone this time. You take the same mechanism that created the collapse, disappearing to fit into someone else's comfort, and you weaponize it against yourself. I'm not good enough. I need to be better. I need to be smaller. I need to be smarter. I need to edit myself further. I need to be more attractive. I need to be more sensual. I need to be. And the woman who was already disappearing now disappears completely. Trap number 2, you blame him. This is the opposite impulse, and it feels like power. It feels like you are finally standing up for yourself. He is incapable of real love. He never appreciated me. He's the broken one. He's ungrateful. I gave him everything. He couldn't handle my light. And yes, there is truth in this. Sometimes the truth is that he couldn't meet you, that his limitations are real, that he made choices that hurt you. But here's where this trap becomes dangerous. If he's entirely the problem, then you never have to look at what you choose, what you accepted, what you participated in. You don't have to examine the ways you made yourself small to keep him comfortable. You don't have to face the moment you stopped being present in your own relationship. You don't have to grieve the versions of yourself you left behind. You just get to be the victim. And victims don't have to choose anything. Victims get to stay angry. Victims get to be right. Victims get to wait for someone else to fix it or admit they were wrong. But victims also stay stuck. Trap number 3, you disappear further. This is, in my opinion, is the most dangerous one. And it's the one disguised as self-care. Maybe I really am the problem. Maybe I should just accept this and accept that this is how things are. Maybe I need to stop wanting, stop needing, stop asking. Maybe the answer is to become even smaller, even more invisible. Maybe if I disappear completely, I won't hurt anyone. Maybe if I change my appearance, I will attract him back. And here's what makes this trap so dangerous. It feels like the logical conclusion of everything you've already been doing. You're already practiced disappearing. You've already learned to dim your light. You've already made yourself manageable for someone else's comfort. You've already probably tried to change yourself, your appearance, your attitude, your behavior. This is just more of what you know. It's not a new choice. It's the deepest version of the old choice. So you go quiet. You stop talking about your pain. You stop expecting anything from anyone. You become a woman who doesn't want, who doesn't need, who doesn't take up space. And the pain, the unimaginable, heart-shattering pain gets packed down to so deep that eventually you can't feel anything at all. But here's what I need you to understand. This is how women disappear while they are still breathing. This is how a mother stays present for her children but abandons herself in the process. How an employee keeps producing while internally checked out. How a woman keeps managing everyone else's comfort while her own soul is screaming. The pain doesn't go away. It just gets buried. And every time you push it down, every time you tell yourself you shouldn't want anything, every time you make yourself smaller, you are choosing the same mechanism that created this collapse in the first place. You are not healing. You are just disappearing more quietly. Now, here's what I am discovering while I'm living this. All three traps come. You cycle through them. Some days you're blaming yourself. Some days you are furious at him. Some days you are so numb you can barely move. This isn't linear. This isn't you pick one and move forward. But somewhere in the middle of all three, it comes a moment when something in you, something deep and true and non-negotiable says no more. For some women, it comes when they are looking at their kids and realize the kids are watching. They are watching how their mother handles heartbreak. They are learning what a woman does when her world falls apart. They are absorbing the message. This is what we do. We disappear. We shrink. And you realize I cannot teach my children to abandon themselves while I'm teaching them this. For some women, it comes in a moment alone, a quiet moment where you realize I have spent my entire life managing everyone else's feelings about my existence. And the one person I abandoned was me. For some women, it comes when they realize that waiting for him to come back, waiting for him to change his mind, that's all just a different version of disappearing. It's still not choosing myself. It's still making my life about what he does or doesn't do. And when that moment comes, and I am telling you, it will come, because you cannot live in all three traps forever. Everything will shift eventually. And the pain is not going to go away. It's not because you suddenly have it all figured out. And definitely it's not because you are healed. It will come because you make a decision that choosing yourself is no longer optional. When you make this decision, You're not deciding that you will be fine without him. You're not deciding that the heartbreak doesn't matter. You're not deciding that love was a mistake. What you're deciding is that self-abandonment is no longer an option. And this is where emotional resilience actually matters, because resilience is not about avoiding pain. It's not about getting over it fast. It's not about moving on. Emotional resilience is about feeling the pain completely without disappearing into it. It's about letting yourself hurt, really feel the pain, while simultaneously choosing to stand on your own 2 feet. It's about being willing to feel abandoned, betrayed, heartbroken, and not letting any of those feelings become the reason you don't look after yourself. This requires a specific kind of strength, and not the strength that you can learn, that you are taught. Not the strength to get over it, but the strength to feel everything and still choose yourself anyway. And here what this actually looks like. You stop waiting for him to come back. You still love him, but your life cannot be on hold waiting for someone else's decision. Your healing cannot be conditional on his return. Your becoming cannot be dependent on his approval. You are the only person whose love you need right now. You stop needing him to be the villain so you can be the victim. This means you have to do something much harder. You have to hold both truths at once. He made choices that hurt me, and I made choices that allowed me to disappear. He couldn't meet me, and I didn't ask him to. He left, and I had already left first. This doesn't mean you were wrong. It means you were human. It means you adopted to something unhealthy and called it love. And you stopped disappearing to manage the pain. Instead, you feel the pain. You let yourself cry. You let yourself be angry. You let yourself need support. You say out loud, "This is the worst thing that happened to me." You're not looking for sympathy. What you're doing is you're naming the pain in the only way to move through it. And the moment you stop pretending, the moment you stop being strong for everyone else, the moment you allow yourself be completely undone, that's when healing can actually begin. And then, this is the part that requires actual badassery. You start to rebuild. And you do it not because people tell you you have to, not because you should be over it by now, but because the alternative, disappearing, waiting, shrinking, is no longer acceptable to you. You make a decision. I'm going to build a life for myself. Not so I can make him regret leaving, not to show him what he's missing, but because I deserve to have a life that's mine. A life where you know what you want, where you ask for it, where you are not waiting for permission or approval. A life where your spark isn't something you offer to make someone else comfortable. It's something you keep for yourself. A life where you rest because you need rest, where you have fun because you deserve fun, where you enjoy your life without constantly worrying or feeling guilty. This is the moment you become a badass. And you do it not for anyone else, but for you. Before we close, I want to leave you with this. If you're in the collapse right now, which trap are you living in? And what will it mean for you to step out of it? And it's not about being strong or being fine, but to choose yourself anyway, to feel the heartbreak completely while simultaneously refusing to disappear, to honor what happened while refusing to let it define who you become. That's where your patasserie lives. If this episode landed for you, if you found yourself in one of these 3 traps, I want you to do something. Share this with the woman in your life. Send it to the friend who's been quiet lately. Send it to your sister. Send it to the woman at work who you know is carrying too much. Send it to anyone you suspect is disappearing while still showing up. Because this conversation, the one about choosing yourself when your whole world collapses, is not something women talk about openly, and it needs to be. The women listening right now are in the collapse. They are scared, they are alone, and they need to know they are not the only ones. So if this resonated with you, be the person who shares it. Be the person who says, I heard this and I thought of you. That's the real work. That's community. Now, if you're ready to go deeper, in a research session, we map out where you are in these 3 traps. We examine what it's going to take for you to feel the pain completely without collapsing, without disappearing. And we start building a vision of what your life looks like when you are the priority. This isn't about becoming a different person. It's about becoming the woman you were always capable of being, but only for yourself this time. If you're ready for that work, the link is in the show notes. The heartbreak is real, my friend. The loss is real. And your strength to move through it and rebuild, that's real too. You don't have to do this alone. Thank you for being here. I will speak to you next week. Much love.